Okay, so let's look at meiosis. We'll be looking at the ploidy level. Okay, ploidy refers to the number of sets of chromosomes that we have in our nucleus. Okay, and a set of chromosomes refer to one of each kind of chromosome. So for us human, right, we have 23 chromosomes in one set. 23 involving 22 autosomal chromosomes. So those are called like chromosome 1, chromosome 2, all the way to chromosome 22. And then we have one sex chromosome, which we call either X or Y. All right. So you see here the karyotype of a normal human male. Right. So there are 22 pairs of autosomal chromosomes and one pair of sex chromosome. Right. So two sets. Right, of 23 chromosomes in total. And because there are two sets, right, so for the ploidy level, it is known as a diploid, dip for two, right, two, so diploid, and is usually represented as 2n, n being the one set of chromosome. So in human, one set is 23 chromosomes, right? So for the diploid number, that will be 2n, so therefore 2 times 23 equals to 46 chromosomes. Okay, so normal human cells are diploid, right? But our gametes after meiosis would be haploid, so therefore only one set of chromosome, right, denoted as n. But obviously there are abnormal cells that may arise due to non-disjunction, which may have polyploidy conditions, right? So it can be triploid, like you can see on the screen, can be tetraploid with 4 sets of chromosomes, you can see on the screen as well. Right? I haven't seen more than that lah. So I've seen the triploid and tetraploid when I was working in the hospital, not really the like 5 sets or 6 sets, not in humans anyway, but in plants, then the higher number of sets, the higher number of polyploidy is possible, as you can see here. So like strawberry that most of you probably like is actually having 8 sets of chromosome. Right, so yeah, quite a lot of sets, yeah? Okay, so next let's look at the homologous chromosomes. So again, we are diploid, so we have 2 sets of chromosomes, which means each chromosome comes in pairs, right? So we call them the homologous pair of chromosomes, or just homologous chromosomes, right? So for us, one of the homolog would be from the father, and that's called the paternal homolog, and the other homolog would be from the mother, so therefore maternal homolog, as you can see on the screen here also lah. Then some features of the pair of homologous chromosomes, they have a lot of similarities, right? They have the same size or length. Right, they have the same position of the centromere, as you can see here on the screen, right? The position of the centromere is really the same. They have the same genes, right, that will be found in the chromosome, and the sequence of the gene loci will be the same. What does that mean is, as you can see here, there are 3 genes, right? Genes for eye color, dimples, and earlobes. Right, so both chromosomes share the same 3 genes, and the sequence of the genes, where the genes are found, are the same as well, right? So gene loci just mean the position of the gene, right, on the length of the chromosome, right? So when you have, say, the gene for eye color on the left, right, of the maternal chromosome, you should also find it at roughly the same position on the paternal chromosome, right? And the sequence of the gene loci are the same, right? So it will be eye color, dimples, earlobe, or gene B, gene D, gene A, right? So for the other chromosome, it would follow the same sequence, right? B, D, A. It cannot be B, A, D, for example, that would be bad. Okay, and however, right, despite of all these similarities, right, the 2 chromosomes, the homologous chromosomes, may have different alleles. Okay, I assume you know what are genes and alleles from your secondary school. Right, so again, right, the 2 chromosomes, the homologous chromosomes, have the same genes, but for each of the genes, right, they may have different alleles, as you can see here again in the diagram, right? For the gene for eye color, right? The two chromosomes have a different allele. One is big B, one is small b, right? Coding for brown eye color and blue eye color, respectively. And for the gene, for dimples, right? Again, different alleles. One big D, one small d for dimples and no dimples, respectively. Right, but for the gene for earlobes, and both have the same alleles, small a for attached. Okay, so these are some features of the homologous chromosomes. Right, so looking at the features, right, then a question for you, for us males, right, we have an X chromosome and a Y chromosome as our sex chromosomes. Are these two chromosomes homologous? Right, looking at the features of homologous chromosomes, do these two chromosomes qualify, right? And obviously the answer is no. Okay, the Y chromosome is much shorter than the X chromosome, and you can see on the diagram on the left, right, that the centromere is in a different position. For the X chromosome, the centromere, that's the thinner part, right, the constriction that you see right here, that's where the centromere is. Okay, it's not exactly in the middle, but at least close to the middle, right? But for the Y chromosome, the centromere is actually quite near the end of the chromosome, right? So different positions. The genes are different as well. The genes that are found on the X chromosomes are not found on the Y chromosomes, and vice versa, right? So for example, on the Y chromosome, we have genes that actually determine the person to be a male. Right, so when we have the Y chromosome, we are male, right? But that's obviously not found on the X chromosome, for example. Okay, so however, right, this is just for your info. But for those who are a bit more familiar already with the process of meiosis and prophase 1, right, you would know that there is pairing of chromosomes or pairing of homologous chromosomes, right, during prophase 1. If you are not familiar already, right, you can go to look at the meiosis process and then come back to this page here, or this slide here, then it will make more sense. Okay, so anyway, right, so there should be pairing of homologous chromosomes during prophase 1, but X and Y are not homologous. However, they are still able to pair up, but there wouldn't be any formation of chiasmata, no synapses, no crossing over. Okay, so they can pair up and they will be separated at the end of meiosis 1, just like the other pairs of autosomal homologous chromosomes. Yeah, okay, so that's the first video.